What's up, YouTubers? Here is the thing. We are busy people living busy lives. And I don't know about you, but I know for myself, I am constantly overcommitting myself, running from one thing to the next, managing multiple jobs, even doing lots of good things for God. But have we become so busy doing good things for God that we neglect to spend time with Him? So as soon as I saw this book, I knew right away I wanted to review it. And that is Find Rest, a women's devotional for lasting peace in a busy life. It's by Shaunti Feldhahn with a foreword by Nancy DeMoss Wagemuth. So we're just going to dive right in. I'm going to show you a little bit what this book is about and some of my thoughts on it. I'd also like to note that normally I'm not a big forward person. I usually just want to skip right to chapter 1 and just dive in. But do take the time to read this. It really blessed me, and I think it's going to bless you too. First off, it starts in this column and gives us a bunch of descriptive words about what a busy life looks like. And some of those words are overcommitted and overwhelmed, out of breath and on edge, racing at warp speed, running on empty, depleted and defeated, anxious and restless. And over on the second page, it gives us a whole new column of words that are completely different from the first column. And these are grace and gratitude, peace and perspective, strength and sanity. And I really like this one a lot. A slower pulse and steady praise. Just like soak that in for a second. A slower pulse and steady praise. I think it's a really great reminder that we all just need to slow down sometimes and refocus our minds on Christ and set our minds on Christ to give Him all of our worship, because He is the one that deserves it. And sometimes, we forget that. Like, we know it, but sometimes we don't know it in here. So it's a really good reminder. And the foreword ends with this Bible verse. It's Jeremiah 6:16. Our Savior beckons to you and to me. Stand by the roads and look, and ask for the ancient paths where the good way is, and walk in it, and find rest for your souls. So right away, it's telling me that there is this huge difference between my regular chaotic life that I have been continuing to live and the life I can live when I rest in Jesus Christ. And that is what this book is about. So before you ever get to day 1 of your devotions, Shaunti gives us the 8 elements of finding rest. And they are: build only on rock, live according to your design, set aside Superwoman, connect with God, shift your perspective, create life-giving relationships, walk in obedience, and have no fear. Alright, so each of the devotions tells you what day you're on, and it always starts with a Bible verse about that topic. And I'd also like to point out the 8 elements we just talked about. Every day, one of those elements is listed on the devotion that you are doing. So this devotion in particular is about shifting your perspective. On another day, it might be about how we need to remember that we need to set aside Superwoman and know that we can't do everything. Second thing is really cool how it really pulls in all those elements, so it kind of reminds you what those are about. So we always have 2 pages of wonderful words of wisdom from Shaunti. They're just really good. Like, I really encourage you to read this book. It really did bless me. And there is always going to be a reflect section to take notes, and it always ends with a beautifully displayed quote. Lots of watercolors in here. Like I said, it is literally so pretty that, like, even if you're not into reading books, like, I'm not usually a huge book person, but every time I see it sitting around, I just want to pick it up because it just looks so beautiful. Maybe that's just me, but I'm just saying, it's a pretty book. Yeah, so for the reflect section, normally I'm not one to write in books a lot, and sometimes, like if you get like a Bible study book, sometimes the questions might seem a little generic and cliche. I really liked the questions that Shaunti asked in here. I thought they were extremely relevant and really pertained to the entirety of the book, talking about finding rest and how we are too busy in the lives that we're living. I really recommend just taking time to do reflect on the questions that she asks and write down some things that you're meditating on and thinking about, something that really speaks to your heart, because it really is neat to look back and see all of your answers. So on one day, you know, if you're asked a question, you might write down one thing, but if you're going through an entirely different stage in life and you're asked the same question, you might come up with something else. So I think it's really neat to look back and see the answers that you gave in that time of life. I think it really shows us, wow, I do have personal growth, and that's something that we don't always give ourselves credit for. Like, you know, every day we are continuing on this journey, and we are constantly growing, and I think we need to recognize that and acknowledge that we have come so far and we have so far to keep going. Also, the notes that she picks out are also extremely relevant. I really liked the quotes in this book. Thought they were extremely appropriate for each devotional, very much on topic. So some key takeaways myself after reading this book. One of the devotionals that really stuck out to me was the one about Sabbath rest, because she was saying a story about how she was a little busy, like on a Sunday, and she's like, oh, I feel like I'm not going to meet my deadline or get something done. But she felt like she really needed to take that Sunday off to rest and not worry about it, and God would help her to meet that deadline. And she said that she actually finished with extra time and she did not have to work on Sundays. So that was something that I really appreciated hearing. Like, for my regular job, I don't work on Sundays, but sometimes it's easy, even for me, music business and YouTubing, you want to edit stuff, and it's okay to take that downtime. And I think it's necessary and something that God commands us to do, to take that time to rest. I think it refocuses our mind on Christ and gives us the energy to jump into the next day with a brand new start and a clean slate. So that's something that really did stick with me after reading this book. Also, just in general, we are too busy. Way too busy. And this was a really good reminder for me. My life has been insane right now. So much to get done and do. I have a lot of deadlines for things, trying to plan a wedding, trying to release an EP. There's lots of stuff going on. And I think this was a really great reminder, a very great time of my life to remind me to slow down and to have a slower pulse and steady pace. So I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can also purchase a copy of Find Rest by Shaunti Feldhahn. And for all of you who have waited to the end of the video, I am hosting a free giveaway to win a copy of Find Rest by Shaunti Feldhahn. There will only be one lucky winner. So it could be you. I'm going to put description in the box below on how you can enter the giveaway, and maybe your name will be chosen and I will get in contact with you and we will send you a copy of this book and you are going to love it. Alright, thank you for watching and check out my videos if you haven't yet and hit that subscribe button. Bye!